What if the real power in America doesn't lie in the hands of elected officials? What if it's controlled by secretive agencies that operate behind closed doors? Welcome to the world of the FBI and CIA, the organizations that pull the strings behind some of the most critical events in modern history. Welcome to American Facts 101, your go-to channel for uncovering the hidden truths and untold stories that have shaped the nation. If you're fascinated by the mysteries of history and the forces that operate in the shadows, you're in the right place. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode. And if you have thoughts or questions as we dive into today's topic, drop them in the comments below. We love hearing from our viewers. The FBI was founded in 1908 during a time when America was grappling with internal threats. Its mission? To combat crime and protect the nation from within. But as America faced new challenges, the role of the FBI expanded dramatically. Initially, the Bureau was a small, relatively obscure agency, but the rise of organized crime during the Prohibition era and the threat of espionage during World War II turned the FBI into a formidable force. Under the leadership of J. Edgar Hoover, the agency's focus broadened from simply enforcing federal laws to becoming a key player in national security. In 1947, in the wake of World War II and at the dawn of the Cold War, the CIA was born. Unlike the FBI, the CIA's mandate was global. Its mission was to gather intelligence and conduct covert operations to safeguard American interests around the world. The Cold War's onset made the CIA an indispensable tool in the global struggle against communism. The agency quickly became involved in a wide range of covert activities, from propaganda campaigns to paramilitary operations, all aimed at countering Soviet influence. The backdrop of their rise to power was a world in turmoil. From the Great Depression to World War II and the Cold War, the need for information and control became paramount. These agencies were given the authority to protect America, but they did so in ways that would often blur the lines of legality and ethics. The FBI and CIA were operating in a time when fear of subversion, whether by fascists, communists, or other perceived enemies, was pervasive. This fear justified the expansion of their powers, often at the expense of civil liberties. J. Edgar Hoover, the man who would lead the FBI for nearly 5 decades, was a figure of immense power and controversy. He transformed the FBI into a powerful domestic intelligence agency, creating a vast network of informants and surveillance operations. But Hoover's obsession with control led him to target not just criminals, but anyone he perceived as a threat, including civil rights leaders and even sitting presidents. Hoover believed that the stability of the nation depended on rooting out subversive elements, whether they were foreign agents, organized crime figures, or political dissidents. One of Hoover's most infamous campaigns was against Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr. Through COINTELPRO, a secret program designed to disrupt political organizations, the FBI engaged in extensive surveillance and attempted to discredit King and other leaders of the civil rights movement. Hoover viewed the civil rights movement with suspicion, seeing it as a potential hotbed of communist influence. The FBI's relentless surveillance of King, including attempts to undermine his marriage and his leadership, remains one of the darkest chapters in the Bureau's history. On the international stage, Allen Dulles, the first civilian director of the CIA, was a master of espionage. Under his leadership, the CIA's reach extended into the highest levels of foreign governments. Dulles orchestrated coups, assassinations, and covert actions that would shape the geopolitical landscape for decades. The CIA under Dulles was not merely a passive collector of intelligence, it was an active participant in global power struggles, using its resources to influence events around the world. In 1953, the CIA played a key role in Operation Ajax, the coup that overthrew Iran's democratically elected Prime Minister Mohammad Mossadegh. The operation was driven by a desire to secure control over Iran's oil resources, but it also set the stage for long-term instability in the region. Mossadegh had nationalized the Iranian oil industry, angering the British, who sought American support to remove him. The CIA, fearing the spread of Soviet influence in the Middle East, saw an opportunity to install a more pliable leader. The success of Operation Ajax emboldened the CIA to engage in similar operations elsewhere. The FBI's influence extended far beyond just fighting crime. Under Hoover's leadership, it became a tool for political control. Through COINTELPRO, the FBI infiltrated and disrupted organizations it considered subversive, often violating the rights of American citizens in the process. COINTELPRO targeted a wide range of groups, including communists, civil rights organizations, feminist groups, and anti-Vietnam War protesters. The program's methods were aggressive and at times illegal, involving break-ins, wiretaps, and the spread of misinformation. Hoover's FBI was particularly concerned with maintaining the social and political status quo. The Bureau's efforts to undermine the civil rights movement, for example, were part of a broader strategy to prevent what Hoover saw as the erosion of traditional American values. The FBI also targeted political leaders who challenged the established order, compiling secret files on individuals ranging from members of Congress to presidents. These files were often used as leverage, ensuring that Hoover remained one of the most powerful men in Washington. Meanwhile, the CIA's global operations were reshaping the world. In Guatemala, the CIA orchestrated a coup in 1954 to overthrow President Jacobo Arbenz, whose policies threatened American business interests. This intervention led to decades of civil unrest and violence in the region, illustrating the long-term consequences of such covert actions. Arbenz had initiated land reforms that affected the holdings of the United Fruit Company, a major American corporation. The CIA, viewing these reforms as a sign of communist influence, launched Operation PB Success, which resulted in Arbenz's ouster. The success of the operation in Guatemala, like the earlier coup in Iran, reinforced the CIA's belief in the efficacy of covert action. Throughout the Cold War, the CIA was involved in numerous operations designed to prevent the spread of communism. These included support for anti-communist forces in Indonesia, the funding of the Bay of Pigs invasion in Cuba, and the backing of military dictatorships in Latin America. However, these actions often led to significant blowback, contributing to instability and anti-American sentiment in many parts of the world. The actions of the FBI and CIA during the 20th century have left a lasting legacy. From the NSA's surveillance programs to ongoing foreign interventions, the influence of these agencies is still felt today. But with great power comes great responsibility, and the question of how much control is too much remains as relevant as ever. The legacy of COINTELPRO can be seen in modern-day debates over surveillance and civil liberties, while the CIA's Cold War interventions have had lasting effects on global politics. As we continue to uncover the secrets of these powerful agencies, one question lingers: who watches the watchers? The concentration of power in agencies like the FBI and CIA and their ability to operate in secrecy raises profound questions about accountability and oversight. These questions are not just historical, they are vital to understanding the balance between security and freedom in our modern world. Join us as we delve deeper into the unseen forces that shape our world. Thanks for watching American Facts 101. If you found this video insightful, give it a thumbs up and share it with others who might be interested. We've only scratched the surface, and there's so much more to explore. Make sure you're subscribed with notifications turned on so you don't miss our next deep dive. And, as always, we want to hear from you. What do you think about the influence of these agencies? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and let's keep the conversation going.